I'm Emma Shelton. If you were in my previous presentation, I was talking about promotions, creative services. Now I'm talking about something different, similar. It's content creation and influencer marketing. But I'm going to give you a bit of a more realistic perspective of it than you may not be aware if all you see is people when you scroll on social media. So I'm going to start out by introducing what exactly influencer marketing is. I'm going to tell you, oh, did I flip it? I might have done it out of order. At some point I'll tell you where the money actually comes from, what a brand partnership looks like, what content creation can actually look like in terms of the profit that you may make, what skills you may need, and we're going to figure out, can you do it? Starting off, my experience with it. First off, did anybody go to Odin's earlier? Yeah? Okay, cool. I wish I could have gone. I wasn't able to make it. He, from my understanding, talked about YouTube primarily. Is that correct? Yeah. I don't know a lot about YouTube, so I'm not going to touch on it a whole awful lot. I know primarily Instagram and TikTok, but I do have a YouTube as well. But here are my stats, as you can see. My Instagram has 16.8, and it's not a lot. I'm what you would call, it's kind of really tiny, so I'm sorry. I'm a micro-influencer would be what my following would categorize me as. And it's 10K to 100K, which usually means you have high engagement, you have some experience when it comes to marketing, and you have a niche audience. I make content about K-pop, primarily. Yeah, there's a fan in the back. So I make a lot of content about fangirling and how it kind of relates to being an adult who functions in the world, as well as different interests of mine. I have a lot of interest in dance, I have a lot of interest in fashion design, makeup, hair, clearly, and a couple of different things that are basically my interest. I treat it like a diary. But in doing that, I have attracted a very engaged audience on a couple different platforms, and as such, I've gotten a little bit of experience about what marketing is truly like when it comes to influencers. So don't think you're talking to somebody who's got a huge following or anything. I'm just gonna give you some perspective. Do you guys want me to go through the rest of the 5 tiers? Can you see it okay or no? Okay, cool. So the lowest one is a nano influencer. That's 1K to 10K. There's some high engagement. Usually if somebody's trying out influencer marketing, they may reach out to somebody who has a lower following to see what works. And it's a very low budget in terms of the content that they create. I already talked about micro-influencer. Then we have a mid-tier, which is 100K to 500K. There's a lot of engagement and awareness in terms of they will post something and people will probably pay attention because they're more aware of that platform. They have more of an affordable investment from the brand side of it because they're not a huge market influencer, but they do have a decent following. Then we have macro, which is 500K to 1 million. They have a broader reach and they help a brand build awareness. And then the mega influencer, which is the tiniest portion, think, what is it, Charli D'Amelio? The people that have a whole awful lot, that's over 1 million followers. And those help build awareness, and they're basically a celebrity status where if a mega influencer uses a product and it promotes it, it will probably drastically influence the sales of that brand. As a result, they can charge a lot more to market with that individual. So those are just the different tiers. You can make some form of a profit in all of them. It's also just really different ways to understand an audience. All right. Influencer marketing specifically is a type of marketing that helps brands and companies reach a targeted audience or niche. I've had, in my experience, skincare brands, because when you think K-pop, you might think Korean skincare, you might think, hey, there's a crossover of audience. So I understand a lot of the skincare brands have had makeup deals, and I've also had fashion as well, because there's crossovers of that. So it's brands that reach out to very specific types of audiences because they know that it'll perform well, and that it'll hit the audience that they're trying to hit. So what differs between an influencer and a content creator? An influencer generally has a very engaged audience. They also have a niche that they tend to focus on, and their biggest selling point, air quote, is their personal brand. It's their personality. They have a following because of who they are, not necessarily always what they create. It is people will watch them because they're interested in what their day was like, how they made an outfit, what their routine is. So it's the personality, it is their personal brand. And a lot of influencers put effort into making sure that how they're presented on social media on different online platforms relates to the brand that they're trying to hit on. I don't know why the same thing is there, but hey, if you want to read it again, that's what influencer marketing is. Next up, a content creator. So you might be thinking, oh, those are the same thing, but not always. I think of it kind of like the rectangle square debacle, where every square is a rectangle, but not every rectangle is a square. So generally, every influencer is a content creator because they create content. But not every content creator is an influencer. So a content creator generally has more of a technical skill set, so they may understand more about camera, they may understand more about lighting, they may come from more of a professional background. They create high quality and very consistent content, and it may not be as, hey, let me throw up a phone and film a TikTok dance. It might not be that, probably more than likely isn't. It is stuff that is educational or entertainment. You may think of, as you're scrolling through, you see something that's more graphically high produced, and it's talking about a very niche subject of US capitals and the history behind certain US capitals. That probably comes from a content creator as opposed to an influencer. But an influencer still creates content. They still can have very technical skill set. They still can have a very high quality and consistent output of content. And they can still create for education and entertainment. But they do so through the lens of their personal brand. It's through their personality. So, do you guys have any questions on the difference between an influencer and a content creator? And where there may be overlap? I should have done a Venn diagram, but I didn't. Nope. Okay. I'm going to drink water. My throat's a little sore. Okay, now where's the money come from? What does it actually look like? If you're interested, why are you sitting in here? Let me ask that first. Feel free to raise your hand and let me know what about this topic caught your eye. Yeah?
I'm a teacher, and a lot of my students think that they're going to be influencers.
Okay.
And I wanted to see, like, what is the reality of that?
Yeah, oh, perfect. That's kind of what I'm talking about. Anybody else? Yeah?
I have followers and I don't make money off it, and I know I'm just sleeping on it.
Oh, perfect, perfect. I love that. May I ask what kind of stuff you do?
Teacher content.
Teacher content. Okay, okay, cool. Well, you'll learn, hopefully. So how you actually make an income. It is not something that everybody can necessarily do, especially if you're going down the influencer route, which I'll touch on the specific skills you need later. But here is how you actually make money. And I don't make a lot with it, to be honest, but a little pocket money. So the biggest way that an influencer makes money is through brand partnerships, which basically an influencer has put so much effort into their personal brand to make sure that they are hitting a target audience, that they use certain hashtags, they use certain keywords in the video and certain hooks to engage a very specific audience. Brands will go, they have very specific people that go through and scour the internet to try and find people who create content that might relate to their brand. Sorry. So these brands do all of the research, and they will reach out to a content creator that they believe aligns well with their product based off of their market research. Which usually looks like an email that 9 times out of 10 just says your username. Hello. They don't even put in the effort of learning your name. And they say, we're with this company. Here's a hyperlink. You want a free stuff? And make a video about it. So they will negotiate their terms. The ones that I have gone through with are ones that actually put in the effort to pay attention to the person they're emailing. Such as using their name. So if you are somebody who wants to do this, here's some things to be aware of, because there are things that are more scam-like that try and target smaller influencers. Things that I look out for are, is it an actual reputable company? In that, have I heard of them? Do you guys know Bulldog Ramen? I got an email from them yesterday asking me to market for them because they know my audience. And the way that I was able to differentiate it was I checked the email. It said, hi Reese, because that's what I generally go by online. So I was like, okay, check, they used my actual name. They didn't just copy paste my username with the emoji next to it. They used my name. So this is an actual person, not a scam. Then I went through and read the rest of the email, saw if it made sense. Generally, they should not offer all of the information right off the bat. It should be, hey, we're interested. We think you might be a target audience. Do you want to set up a call? Do you want more information? Please reach out to us and let us know. If they start detailing all of the information right off the bat, be wary. Be very wary, because they're trying to hook you with all of the details right off the bat. And then I went and I checked the hyperlink that they used. I searched it instead of clicking it, because scam links, viruses, bad, don't do that. And it was the same. It was the actual Bulldog thing. I don't know as of right now if I'll actually be participating in that brand partnership, but that is an example of how them reaching out looks. In the past, when I've done skincare ones, they negotiate their terms and they talk about your deliverables. A deliverable is, hey, we're gonna send you this product. We expect one video of an unboxing and then a video a week later of the products and the use of the products. And I need that by this day, after you send the products. So they say, we want 30 seconds of video, we want it to follow this criteria. A really well put together one will give you a brand guideline to say, hey, say these things, generally use these terms, don't use these things. So once you negotiate the terms and you say, hey, I will take X amount of money for that, then you get the products. So they will send you the products. Sometimes it has very cute wrapping because they're trying to get you to an unboxing. You will film and create the content. And then once you send it to them for approval, they will go through their approval process, get all the management checking it, and you will create the content. Then you get the money. They usually send it over. Sometimes they will send a set amount before you receive the products to say, hey, this is so that you can start your video, and they'll send you the latter half afterwards. I do advise you, if that is something you're interested in, just approach it with caution in terms of brand dealerships, because there are a lot of things and people out there that are malicious. So trust your gut and really try and do research before you say, yes, send me, let me give you my address. Also get a P.O. box if you're doing this. That's important too, because you don't want random people on the internet to know your address. Yeah. Do you have any questions on how brand partnerships as an influencer work? Nope. Yeah?
Is this also the same for like YouTube or something, not like just...
So probably. I don't, again, like I kind of mentioned earlier, I don't put a lot of focus in YouTube. I know a lot of people on YouTube make money through ad revenue, and there are some that do brand partnerships, or because they're more long form, they will have like a commercial break. Like I've seen some for Factor Meals, the meal delivery company. Like they will likely go through a very similar process of reaching out to them, saying, hey, we would love to send you X amount. I'll get to your question in just a second. We'll reach out to you and say, hey, we want this. Can you give us 30 seconds in the first half before your ad break and talk about our product, but make it feel natural to your content. So I imagine it's probably very similar. I just don't have personal experience with it. Yeah. Yeah, what's your question?
Through the partnerships, does it give you different opportunities with other companies because you've done
Potentially.
with them?
Yeah, once you start collaborating with more, you build a repertoire. And there are some people that like the larger scale influencers, this is a wild thing. There was an influencer managing company that reached out to me. So once you become a larger scale influencer and you don't just do it on the side as a gig, you may end up being contracted with a management company that helps negotiate different brand partnerships and kind of shows your portfolio for you while you just make the content. So the more you do it, the more your repertoire does, the better it is. The brands themselves don't generally tend to go out of their way to be like, hey, they did really good, let's go get you to do our competitor, because that's not in their business interest. But once you have a good enough repertoire of it, you can kind of build your brand even more. Yeah, did that answer you well enough? Cool. Any other questions? Cool. Now, content creator. So again, there are influencers that are almost always a content creator, but in terms of like Odin, who does content on YouTube, they will make money in a couple different ways because their skills are generally more technical. They will make money through their own content. So they may have ad revenue or the Creator Fund. The Creator Fund is a part of TikTok. If you hit their requirements for engagement, for followers, and for your age, you can be enrolled in the Creator Fund, which is basically if you make a video over a minute long and you have an engaged enough audience and it gets enough views, you can start to make an income off of that video. So the videos that you see that are over a minute long and have millions and millions of followers or millions and millions of views, they've probably made hundreds of dollars off of that singular video. It's very hard though, because generally the percentage of money you make is very small. But that is one way that you can make money off of your own content as both an influencer and a content creator. A lot of content creators also offer digital courses. Or subscriptions to more content. So say I follow a couple different content creators that are more focused on videography. They offer courses on how you can learn directly from them on how you can be a better videographer. Or they have subscriptions for subscription-only content. Just that exclusivity, kind of getting money wherever they can, but because they know their audience is willing and engaged, they can do that. There's also freelance. So if you are a content creator and you've built up your own repertoire and your portfolio well enough to kind of have a demo reel essentially and make a name for yourself, there are brands that will do very similar things to influencer partnership where they reach out to you and go, hey, we're XYZ, can you make content for us? So where an influencer generally posts content on their own account, a content creator that has been freelanced or full-time hired will make content to be posted on that brand's account. So it's different. And they also may end up coaching a brand on how to create content because they understand their audience better. They understand how to target an audience. And then there's also a full-time hire. There are people who are full-blown content creators specifically for one brand. So they use their technical skills. They're basically a producer, kind of like what I had talked about in my previous session about promotional marketing and promotional content. They do that, but instead of it being for a television station, it's for a brand. It's for a company. Yeah, there's a lot of other ways. There's no rules, really. Well, there are rules, but there's no specific way to make money off of content creation and influencer. So it's all about being creative and kind of the connections that you may make. But this is for a content creator. Do you guys have any questions about content creator and the ways that they make money? Nope. Cool. There's also a secret third option, which is user-generated content. So this is, can you guys read it okay? It's kind of small. Can you guys see it? Nope. I'll read it out very loudly for you. So user-generated content is peer-to-peer social proof. So instead of reaching out to a very established and famous influencer that you're basically paying them to say what you want them to say, this is more so, hey, can you give an authentic reaction if it's a one that we like of you using our product or talking about our item? We will post it on our social media. So it's digital word of mouth. Are you guys familiar with word of mouth? Yes? Fantastic. So it's basically saying like, as you're scrolling, think TikTok shop ads. If you guys scroll across those, that is user-generated content. It's in the name. It is somebody who's using it. They are creating content about it, generating the content, and using it to promote the brand. And that is an easy way if you are somebody who doesn't have a huge platform, you're just a real, genuine, authentic person, you can make an income off of it through TikTok shop ads. And sometimes you can be a full-blown UGC creator, a user-generated content creator. And it's a lower stakes form of content creation. They're not looking for all the bells and whistles of a full-blown professional content creator where you have the 3-point lighting system, where you have the beautiful camera getting you just right in your angle. It's more so you set up your phone and you talk about the product. You go, hey, I use this skincare thing. It's great. Like, my skin's never looked this good before. And it's supposed to be more of an authentic and genuine way to reach people because that works better sometimes than a full-blown professional version of content. So yeah, not quite as high quality of a content creator, but it's not as big of a commitment as a brand partnership. So where a lot of brand partnerships include a contract where you are committing to a certain amount of videos created within a certain time frame, user-generated content is not as strict with it, especially if you do it through TikTok shop ads. It's just more, whenever you get the chance, you do it and you promote it. And there's discussion if you are reaching out to a specific brand or if it is through the platforms such as TikTok shop ads. Questions about user-generated content? Nope. How am I doing on time? Y'all are not talking as much as I thought you would. That's okay. We're going quicker. Now, what skills? How do you actually do it? Well, for an influencer, you're going to want something that sets you apart, which is generally a genuine personality. Who are your guys' favorite people that you follow online? Who?
Corey.
Corey? Oh, don't know that. But why do you like them?
Because they're funny.
Because they're funny. Are they very authentic? Like, is their personality the thing that brings you? Cool. Anybody else?
Joe Barlozzi.
Okay. Again, I don't know everything. But why do you like that person?
What?
Why do you like that person?
Oh, because he's also funny.
Yeah. So it's their personality that attracts you. Yeah.
I used to follow Landon, has 0 IQ. He's very funny.
Oh, let's not be mean to each other.
No, that's why you should know.
Okay.
I follow him.
Oh, good, good. Anybody else? Anybody else? What is like somebody that you really like and you would be like, hey, I'd love to meet them in person? Anybody? Nina Poole. Oh, okay. Why do you like?
She gives you dupes for expensive stuff, and she's genuine.
Oh, love it. See, it's genuine. In general, yeah, you got one?
Stylish Matters.
Who?
Stylish Matters.
Okay, why do you like?
Because she's like around my age, I feel like we'll be best friends.
Yeah? See, you feel like you're close to them. That's where parasocialism comes into play. Are you raising your hand? Yeah.
Markiplier.
Markiplier. Hey, I know that one. Why do you like him?
He's kind of been doing the same thing routinely for over a decade, I think.
Nice.
And it's just like casual checking in, and
Yeah.
he's still on the same things that I'm
Yeah.
interested in. Same with Odin makes as well. I actually watched him for like a year beforehand.
Oh, that's cool.
So again, just like the routineness of it, and he's making things about things. I'm like, oh yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
So it's a niche that you're interested in.
Yeah.
It's consistent, and it's something that you feel is a genuine connection, right? Yeah. Were you raising your hand? Yeah.
Yeah, I like Ryan Trahan.
Ryan Trahan. What do they create? What do they do?
He does a lot of stuff. He goes, just recently, he went to every 50 state, which is really cool.
Oh, cool.
The cinematography, he's really cool, he's really funny.
Oh,
He's
cool.
just really positive too, so.
See, I love that. You got one? Yeah? Yeah, so you guys are interested in the people that are genuine. You're interested in people that have something that interests you, that sets them apart from somebody else. If you are somebody who you want to do this kind of thing, you want to have a career in this or make a part-time gig out of it, you need to think about what makes you unique and what makes you special and what allows you to connect with people. So having something that sets you apart and being genuine with it is a great way to interact with an audience that actually cares about you and you care about them. You also need to know the basics of filming and editing photography, because a lot of the time influencers, they do Instagram posts that are photos, so you wouldn't just want every photo to be this if you're showing outfits, because that's kind of boring. It's consistent, but it's boring. So you want to have some understanding of the basics of photography and the rule of thirds and how to compose a shot and how to pose. As well as with filming, you'll want to know what angles look good, how to make sure that you're not poorly lit, and how to edit the videos that you create, whether it be through Premiere Pro or apps such as CapCut or the in-app editing system on different social media platforms. You also will need to know how to read in-app analytics and let those analytics help you guide your approach towards whatever you are creating. And you need to understand how to apply the trends to your niche. So once you figure out kind of what you want to be talking about and what kind of content you want to be making, you got to figure out what kind of niche you want to target. For me, it's K-pop stuff. It's people that are dancers. It's people that they like what they like, but they also have a life outside of it. So I try and have a balance of how do you be a fangirl in this world that you find joy where you can find joy while also being an adult, and you got to connect with people. And how can you take trends that are going viral on the platform and make it about your niche? Is there a trending sound? Is there a specific format for a video that's doing really well? How can you apply it to what you know your audience will like? You need to plan your content because it's not, if you're trying to do this full time or if you're trying to do this as a genuine career, you can't just post 3 videos in 30 minutes and then not post anything for a month, because that is not enough. It is a numbers game. It's kind of throwing spaghetti at a wall and seeing what sticks. So mass create a lot. Anything that you have a potential idea of, create a video about it. Put it out there. Be consistent enough with it and you'll see growth in your numbers. But that does take planning. And you gotta have a solid work ethic. Like I said, you can't just quit if it's something that you're really trying to put effort into. You could quit, but yeah.
Question. How did you convince yourself to just start it?
Oh, that's such a good question. I started during the pandemic. I was alone, I was bored, and all of my roommates went home, and I was stuck in a house by myself. And I was like, I'm an extrovert, I need social interaction. So I started to post videos of me doing dance compilations on it, and then I started to do fun little trends. I tried to make my own thing. And for the longest time, I was convinced nobody actually gave a crap about me as an individual. They just cared about what I could create for them, what made them happy, what made them laugh. It wasn't until more recently that you guys familiar with the term parasocial? Yeah? There's a weird degree of parasocial between me as the person who's creating stuff and seeing like a username that I've seen since I started. And being like, oh my God, you're still here. So that didn't answer your question fully. I just did it. I was bored and I needed some kind of social connection. And I had to change my mindset of, I'm doing this because I want to and for my fun, and not being terrified of what other people would think. I look back now and I think those videos are kind of cringy because the lighting was terrible, because I didn't know how to act on camera. I wasn't truly authentic yet because I wasn't confident yet, but I just started. As you do more of it, you'll grow and you'll be more confident and you'll figure out your own voice and your own online personality. Yeah, so my advice is just start it. And if people give you crap, block them. Yeah, that's why the block button exists. Like, just get rid of them. I do it all the time. It's great. Yeah, hopefully that answered. Just try it. Now, if you want to be a content creator, you want to have more of an above average understanding of filming, editing, photography, and graphic design. Because generally you're a one-man show. You would create most of it all by yourself, unless you become such a big content creator that you have a bunch of other people helping you. But if you're just starting out and it's something you want to try, you want to refine your skills in the technical dimension. You want to learn how to read in-app analytics and let them shape your approach towards posting. So again, that is a crossover between an influencer and content creator. The biggest thing is understanding your audience and understanding what your audience would want and how to appeal to them. Hey, look at that. That was the next bullet. Understanding how to reach your target audience. If you're a content creator that's creating content for brands, you want to understand what that brand is trying to sell, what their target audience is, and how that can translate into video. And again, a solid work ethic and planning of content. It is more work. If you're trying to do this as a full-time job or trying to put all of your effort into it, it is way more work than you may think if you truly want to try and do it. Any questions on that, the skills that you may need? Nope. Cool. All right, can you do it? Let's find out. So I hope you can read this decently. If not, I will read it for you. I was going to do a full Kahoot game. You have to pay for Kahoot now. At least when I looked at it, I didn't want to pay for 5 questions. So this is a screenshot, and we're just going to have you raise your hand if you think. This is an example of an in-app analytic for gender. So there are 6% of men that follow you, and there are 93.9% of women that follow you. Of the brands that you see here, which is Dr. Scholl's, the foot helping, BMW, the car brand, or Burt's Bees, which one do you think would be the best brand collaboration for that audience? Yeah? Yeah? Any other guesses?
What's the doctor? What is that doctor?
Dr. Scholl's, it's shoe inserts. So it's mainly for like people that have achy feet. It's like, it soothes your feet. As you get older, you see it more. You guys are probably fine. You're younger. All right, so Burt's Bees, do we all agree that Burt's Bees would make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so why does it make sense? Yeah?
Because it kind of targets the people who are mostly watching you.
Yes, exactly. So that would be a brand that would make sense for your audience. It would give you, as the person creating the content, a good result if you collaborate with that brand. Because girly pops, women, know how to use chapstick. Not that men don't, but they understand that element of it. Cool. Next up. Again, same question, but now we're talking about age. So we have 4% of 13 to 17-year-olds that are a part of your audience. We have 49% of 18 to 24%. 18 to 24 years is 49%. 30% for 25 to 34 years. Of those age, with that age range in mind, which of these brands would be the best to collaborate with? Hot Wheels? Campbell's Soup? PlayStation. PlayStation, why?
It's just
Yeah?
because I feel like they would like to interact with that more, and it would definitely help the brand, and it's the age.
Exactly, it's the age. So by looking at the analytics, you can figure out what brands make sense for you to collaborate with, right? Yeah, let's do another one. Now let's talk, when should you post for the best engagement? Because engagement is big, and the way that a lot of algorithms currently work is once you post a video, the amount of engagement you get, whether it be likes, comments, or shares in the first 30 minutes of what you post, has a great impact on how frequently it'll be shared in the future on the different platforms. So I don't know if you can see this very well. This is broken down by hour. 12 a.m., 4 a.m., 8 a.m., 12 p.m., 4 p.m., 8 p.m. Can you see the bars? Yeah? All right. Of those options, which is the best time to post for good engagement? Yeah?
9 a.m.
9 a.m. Why?
Because it starts going down around 4 p.m. and then 9 a.m. is still at its peak.
Exactly. Your audience is online, so when you post, you're more likely to get engaged within the first 30 minutes. Nice job. The questions are really easy, to be honest. You just have to understand your audience and understand how to read a graph. But they're really, a lot of the core decisions that you would make as an influencer or content creator should be guided by the analytics. All right, what does this tell me? So I got the traffic source of For You page. I got how the search, hold on, let me read through the rest of the options. You guys are ambitious. Personal profile, following, or sound. Is it going to tell me how to drive? Is it going to tell me how many people follow me? Or is it going to tell me how most people find my videos? Yeah? Say it.
How much people find your videos.
Beautiful, exactly. So based off of this, most people see my videos through my For You page. And that is a result of the hashtags that I use, which help, and the way that I film, because the algorithm will read and understand the type of content you create based off the captions that you use, the hashtags that you use, and the way that you film, and put it on the page and the For You page of people that are more engaged with that kind of content. So clearly it works well for me. What I'm doing is not doing too wrong. There's also a fair amount of people that have found me through searches, whether that be through searching my name or through searching something that directly pertains to a result of one of my videos. You know how on TikTok it has the blue hyperlink now? That is what a search is. Or a personal profile, if somebody went to my profile and then watched my videos, not as common, or they already follow me. How many of you guys go through your following tab on social media? Yeah? Do you do it consistently? Kudos. I'm a For You page liver. I do not go on my following page that much. So I'm interested to hear the people that do. And then some people find me via the sound that I use. I generally don't make videos with trending sounds because I'm a part of the TikTok Creator Fund, they get me ad revenue. I want to make videos that are over a minute long. It's hard to find sounds that are over a minute long. You also have to create unique individual content to be part of the Creator Fund. I do that through talking or through creative videos or dance. So I don't always use a trending sound. And lastly, what does this tell me about how my videos have been doing? So it shows you my key metrics, which are my post views, my profile views, my likes, my comments, my shares, and my estimated rewards. So my post views are 110K over the week. My profile views, 996. My likes, 16K. Comments, negative 349, meaning I did not get as many comments. My shares, and my estimated rewards of $2.77. So what does that tell me? Anybody want to take a stab? No, going once? Yeah, do you have a hesitant hand in the back? Or yeah?
The content I made has been shared more than usual.
Exactly, yes. That is the only thing. I know it's kind of hard to see. I didn't realize how small the presentation would be relative to how far away you guys are. This is the only thing that has gone up since the last week. That is 38% up from the last week. Everything else has gone down. It's also partially because I didn't post as much that week. So whatever I was creating was something that people related to in a way that they would share it with their friends or they would repost it. So that if that was something that I wanted to take into account and I wanted more shares, I would continue to evaluate the content that I created that week and continue to do something similar in the future weeks. Yeah. Well, ignore this one. Do you guys have any questions about the analytics that we just saw? No? And that's not even all of the analytics. There's a lot more. You can go by video to see when people stop paying attention to your video or at what millisecond people liked your video in general. It's really kind of cool. Yeah, no questions? Great. So if you've got an interest or a passion about anything, start creating. If this is something that interests you, I encourage you to just start. You won't learn as well unless you're doing it. You'll learn through trial and error. I would encourage you to be 18 before you start. That's important in my opinion. Protect yourself from people online if you are under 18. Wait, you can always practice, but I would not publicly post. But start creating and evaluate for yourself what you like. And I'm going to give you guys a couple words of advice that I've kind of harped on somewhat throughout the rest of the presentation so far. You should create for you. In general, what you're creating should be what you want to see. If you wouldn't watch your own video, why are you making it? So create stuff that you think other people would connect to or that you just simply want to see. Be authentic in what you create. Don't try and be fake in what you do. You all, I imagine, have wonderfully unique personalities because you're all individuals. Use that to create things and you will find people that relate to you in any way, shape, or form. However, be mindful of your digital footprint. That is an important thing, especially in this day and age. We live in an era of cancellations. So be mindful about what you create, how you create it. You may be doing this now as a fun thing when you're younger, but maybe you fall off, you don't love doing it anymore, you get a full-time job. You would not want something that you posted way back when to come back and haunt you. So just be mindful of it. Make sure that it's something that years down the line, your boss wouldn't mind seeing. Protect your peace in online spaces. People online can be terrible, I'm not gonna lie to you. There are people that can be really, really mean. One way you can protect your peace, in general, not engage with people that are being mean to you. Even if you think you're right and you wanna really get them where they're wrong, don't do it, just block them. Like, it's not worth your time or energy. I do what I do on social media for fun, and I do it for myself. And that is how I always approach it. Once it stops being fun, I stop doing it, because it's not my full-time job. But protect your peace, do what you can, find joy in it, that's what's important. And don't put all of your eggs in one basket for now. If this is something you're interested in, I definitely encourage you to start creating and start trying. You'll learn through the process, but be mindful of the fact that not everybody can be big with it. I'm not big. I have a full-time job. I'm a manager in a television station as my full-time job. I do this on the side for fun. I get a bit of a residual income. I get really cool opportunities as a result of it, but I don't put all of my eggs in that basket. Once you start it, and if you see really good progress, then you can evaluate if it's something you want to put everything towards. But right off the bat, don't quit a job and just create. Do it on the side, learn, because it takes a while to grow a platform. And it takes a while to really understand how you want to reach your audience and how you want to create. Any questions? Yeah. I love ATs. They're my favorite. I love the new song they just released. In fact, I'm going to go learn the choreography and film a TikTok of it later. So, any other questions? Yeah?
Which platform, in your opinion, is the easiest to start with?
Ooh, good question. So, well, let me get water while I think about that. I think it varies. I've been posting on TikTok for over 7 years now. And, you know, that one is my largest platform. That was the one that I had 66,000 or so followers, and that's taken a while to grow. The algorithm on TikTok changes more frequently than the other platform of Instagram, which are the two that I have the most experience in. Instagram, I started about a year ago, really properly creating content on there. And you can get very quick engagement, and you can build it a lot easier on Instagram. But you have to get the engagement first. So it may take a while to start generating engagement, but once you do, it stays pretty consistent. Whereas TikTok, I've had one video that gets thousands of views, and the very next one, it's like, maybe like 1,000. And it will just depend on the algorithm and what you're posting at that time. So in terms of consistency, Instagram probably. However, if you're trying to make a residual income, TikTok does have the creator fund. As of right now, Instagram doesn't have a way to make residual income through posting. So Instagram's a great way to learn. I would also encourage people to just cross-post, do both. That's what I do. Every video that I post on Instagram, I also post on TikTok, which is why I can see the difference in how they kind of grow. Yeah. Any other questions? No? Well, I have a question for you guys. If you were to create content, or if you were to be an influencer, what would your niche be? Yeah? You got one? What was it? Gaming. Gaming? Is there any specific kind of gaming?
Like
What was it?
Jump dash.
Jump Dash? What?
Geometry.
Geometry Dash. Oh, I played that before. Okay, fun. Yeah, so that's understanding what kind of videos you'd want. And I would, especially gaming is such a broad one. There's people that do live streaming on Twitch too. That's an avenue. I don't have experience with that.
The guy I watched does both.
Oh, cool. Yeah, a lot of people that do post on Twitch will take clips of it and make YouTube videos out of it. So they can make money on Twitch Live. They also have the replays, but they also can have a separate content, long form content. And primarily what I've been talking about today has been short form content, because I don't have the attention span to do long form content. But if long form content on YouTube is something that you're more interested in, there's a lot of avenues for that and ways to do that. I have my YouTube where I post vlogs on occasion, but I'm not consistent with it because it's a lot more work. Yeah? What other niches would you guys be interested in? I got like 4 more minutes. Yeah?
I have one more question.
Yeah, what's up?
I'm interested in a lot of things, I think, right now, like music and especially video production and like gaming as well. But how do you decide, like, do you think it's harder if you don't have a niche and you guys just like share things you're interested in a broad kind of category? Do you think that would be like a good way to like test the waters and see what kind of interactions work best, I guess?
Yeah, fantastic question. Yes, I would just do it. I say have a niche. My niche is also partially, I do whatever the heck I want, and I'm gonna post it. And if you like my personality enough and you like my energy enough, you're welcome to follow me along for the journey. But I post whatever I want to post. I usually try and relate it to my general niche, but I have things that are very, very different. And at the end of the day, you'll find things that work well, but I would encourage you guys to not solely limit yourself to what your niche says you should care about or what your niche does well, because you will grow, especially if this is something you do for a longer time. Like right now, you may be really interested in music. Right now, you may be very interested in videography. You don't want to feel pigeonholed by just that as your niche. I would encourage you to make sure that in your content, you allow yourself room to grow and shift your audiences. Because that's a problem that I see a lot of other content creators run into, which is they have a niche, and if they go outside that niche, people don't give a crap about them. So make it a part of your niche and a part of your brand to try things, and a part of your identity online to be, hey, it's okay to try these different things. Hey, I'm curious, let's learn together. And that's a really good way to approach it in a way that won't feel limiting. Yeah? Yeah?
Just to follow up on yours. So I have a couple of students who they're just interested in everything, and they wanted to start a podcast. So they come into my room at lunch, and I just set the microphones up, and I just let them talk. And things come out of that. So you can be general in certain formats. Like if you just wanted to have a podcast where you talked about all your interests, and then you can kind of figure it out from there. It's just a good way to start it.
Yeah.
You know, you can go back and watch it and see what you think.
Yeah, absolutely. Any last questions? Yeah?
Does it take you to, from planning, editing, to actually uploading the video? How long do you think does it take, and how long on average is a video?
My video on average, I try to make them over a minute generally, unless it is one that I am going with a very firm concept. I do a thing where I make mini music videos for songs that I like with more high production. I create a shot list, I create different angles, and I will generally film it in one night, but the planning will take maybe 2 or 3 days, and then I will go create them and film them. Sometimes some of my brand is just in the moment fangirling, so those don't take long at all. It very much differs. Content creators will take longer to create things because they have higher quality. Influencers are more likely to just set up their phone and film something about whatever they wish to talk about. So it very, very much differs for me in particular, but also just across the realm of things. Yeah, so it's not a specific answer. Any other questions? Nope. Cool. Thank you guys very much for listening. Hopefully you learned a little something. I appreciate it.